Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease, it's your boy Soul Immortal. The formula for the advancing man. The formula for the advancing man, right? I was just sitting here spending a little time with Brother Wattles in the book, The Science of Getting Rich. You know, if you've read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, man, you would love Wattles' work. Wallace has a more simplified, it's more of a rudimentary style book of the same thing, man. Definitely one of my top fives, right? You know, I was just thumbing through and picked up on chapter 15 called The Advancing Man, right? And to be honest, this chapter is only 7 pages, man. But if you read this and you can grasp this, but brother, you can take off running. Because in this, you know, he breaks down the formula for the advancing man, right? And the first thing that he talked about was the importance of holding the vision, right? He started off and he says this. No matter whether you are a physician, a teacher, a clergyman, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you and you will get rich, right? So the first step, brothers, is holding the vision. To be an advancing man, to advance in life, to reach your goals, is to be a man that can hold his vision, right? Now we always talk about plugging in and staying locked in your prayer and meditation. But today we're going to go just a little bit deeper, right? When we're talking about holding the vision, we're talking about in this physical form, staying in a state, staying locked on your target. I remember, man, I have a friend that lives down in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not sure what that part of Jacksonville is called where he lives at, but it's right on the beach, man. My brother has a 3-story crib, him and his wife and his cat, right? 3-story crib right on the beach. You know, nice size bedrooms, nice size kitchen. It's a dope setup, right? But the thing that stands out about this house, man, is the 3rd floor is just one big open window to the beach, man. It's epic. Anyway, right? I went to go see the brother. It's been a couple of years ago now, maybe even 3, right? And I can remember they were doing a lot of construction in Jacksonville. He was like, brother, when you get off the plane, don't even think about putting the GPS in. It's going to have you all over the place. So he just texted me a set of directions to get to his crib, right? So I get to his crib, man, and I'm hugging the brother. I hadn't seen him in a while. I'm talking to his wife. And he's like, did you see the so-and-so mansion coming in? And I was like, no, brother, I didn't get to see that, man. He said, but did you see the new the port setup, man? You see all the yachts and stuff out there? You know, I was like, bro, I didn't get to see that, man. I didn't see none of that stuff, bro. And he just got the name in a few different spots, man. A few different highlights of Jacksonville, right? And I was like, bro, like I didn't see none of this stuff, right? And the thing is, I was locked so hard into getting to his crib. I was locked so hard into following these directions, looking for this street sign, making a right turn here, left turn here, that I didn't see anything around me. But I can tell you this, brothers, I had absolutely no problems getting to his house. So when Wallace talks about holding on to your vision, brothers, it's that crucial. But the thing is, you have to understand, man, that once you hold on to your vision, brothers, you're going to miss a lot. You're going to miss a lot of stuff in life holding on to your vision, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of concerts that come through your town, man. It's gonna be a lot of events in New Year's Eve parties and birthday parties and day parties and all these events that you're gonna miss, that you won't even know about because you're locked on your vision, man. You're gonna have so many, thick baddies come through your path, man. You're gonna have so many all types of different things come to your path. I'm telling you, brothers, that you're going to miss out. The things that everybody's talking about, the things that everybody knows about, the shows that everybody watching, the record of every team, you won't even know some of this stuff because you're locked on your target, man. So you have to understand that when Wallace is talking about, holding on to the vision, like that's one of the keys. That's one of the master keys. But brothers, you have to understand that it takes sacrifice. You're going to lose something, man. There's a video, man. It's been out for several years now, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's called the selective attention test. And if you want to understand how a person can lock onto their vision, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. If I can remember, I'll try to leave a link. It's called the selective attention test. It'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It'll show you how crucial being locked on your target is, right? So the first one, man, the first part of the formula for the advancing man is holding on to his vision, right? Now the second one, the brother said to be too big for your current situation. He said the second part of the formula for the advancing man is to be too big for his current situation. Now he broke this down into two parts, right? First, he started off talking about, doctors and pastors and teachers. He talked about how people in position, they kind of have, a small following or already a small group. He said, all you have to do is be more of what you are. He talked about the doctor, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, like the doctor, he said, if a doctor just puts his mind, puts his energy in the mindset of, I'm just a healer. All I'm doing is trying to heal everyone that comes my way. He said, this man's world will expand. He will grow to be rich because that's what's going to attract people to him. He talked about the pastor. He said instead of pastors, preaching certain doctrine, he said, why don't preachers start, using themselves, for example? And if they want to start talking about prosperity, why don't they show their congregation that they are prosperous, right? He said their territories will expand. And then he talked about the teacher. He said any teacher that has, their sole purpose is the advancement of all of their students. They said this teacher's success will be unreal, right? But then he says this. He said those are examples of people that kind of have, small, followings already or whatever, small groups. Then he says this. He says, what is true of the teacher, preacher, and physician is true of the lawyer, dentist, real estate man, insurance agent, is true of everybody. Then he says this, do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are not working where there is no visible opportunity for advancement. Do all the work you can do every day and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. Put the power of success and the purpose to get rich into everything that you do. Man, I can remember this. I can remember one of my first jobs. My first job was with a company called Martin Gas. And I've talked about this several times, right? I worked at a branch of Martin Gas. It was like a daycare center. I did all the lawn, I did all the cleaning, I did all the sweeping, I did all the mopping. I was a general laborer, right? But what I noticed is one thing I used to do, man, like the flower bed, I kept that flower bed tight, And the lady would be like, hey, every couple of days, every week or so, just kind of go out there and pick the weeds and all this stuff, right? And the floor, I was mopping and buffing the floor. I think I was supposed to buff the floor like once or twice a month, something like that, right? But what I noticed was when people walk in the building, they would compliment. They was like, oh man, the flower bed look good, man, or the floors are like shiny, right? So I began to take pride in this, right? I was no longer doing this for the company. I was doing it for myself. And I'm telling you, when it says to be, be larger than your current situation, I'm telling you, one of the key to that, man, one of the keys to that is you have to become more selfish. Like I said, I started doing things for myself as opposed to doing it for the company. I started expanding my, so when people walked in and they saw the floors, I no longer wanted it to represent Martin Gas. I wanted it to represent soul. But when they saw the flowers, I wanted it to represent me. You know what I'm saying? So instead of buffing the floors, once or twice a month, brother, once a week, I was going above and beyond. whatever my job description, entailed, brother, I was going above and beyond. And the thing is, my world started expanding. I outgrew my current position. You know what I'm saying? So and what the book says is like if you're at a place and you're expanding yourself like that, and there's no room at that particular place of employment for you to grow, like the world, the universe will present something to you, brother. And I'm telling you, once I started moving like that, brother, my world expanded. I began to get new opportunities, and I was still a young man. I was offered a job, getting paid more than what a lot of my peers were, man. But just because I was moving different, I'm telling you, you have to be larger than your current situation. I'm not sure if y'all follow. He's a content creator, a couple of million subs, named Aaron Dottie or Daughtry, Aaron Dottie, right? I've been seeing a few of his videos over the last, 6 months, year. And Sharp brother. And I can remember him talking about a job that he had. I believe he worked at Nordstrom, he talks about. And he said, man, and he talked about something very similar to this. He said, you know what? He said, when I started working there, man, like my performance was low and yada, yada, yada. I was getting paid commission. He said, I started being greater than the position, job description. He said, no, I was selling shoes. He said, the first thing I did, he says, I didn't care if a woman came in there and bought some kids, or she came in and bought some Christians. I treated every single person like they were spending, top dollar up in the store, right? And he said, things started happening. He said, man, a lot of my peers would take the shoes and just throw them in a bag and hand them to the customers. He said, man, I would gently place the shoes in there, fold the stuff over, man, put it in the bag and kind of hand it to the customers as if it was something valuable. And then he talked about how his world just started expanding, man. So I said all that to say this. Regardless of where you are, what you're doing, man, I don't care if you're shoveling crap for a living. Be the best shoveler on the planet. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're dipping fries. I don't care if you're flipping burgers. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're some executive in some top corner office overlooking the city. Be selfish, man, and do it for self. Do it for the advancement of yourself, going to the next level, man. I'm telling you, man, being larger than your current situation is crucial. Being larger than your current situation, man, is crucial. And the last one, man, the third part of the formula was don't wait. He said, don't wait for the opportunity to be, right? I believe his exact words were, he says, don't wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you is present, you'll feel impelled towards it, right? And that's crucial, man. Like I've heard so many philosophers, so many, historians make comments surrounding that, right? Don't wait for opportunity to present itself to be, right? I used to mentor a young brother. This was a number of years ago, right? And the brother wanted to be a rapper, right? He had his game plan laid out. This is what I'm going to do, and da-da-da-da-da. This is going to be my name. Yeah. I'm like, cool. Like, that's what's up, bro. I'm like, drop me a few bars. He was like, oh, no, man. I'm trying to wait till it does. I said, well, bro, I said, well, what are you doing to move toward that now? I said, are you on, YouTube, or you on, SoundCloud? Are you putting music on this? He was like, no, man, I ain't doing none of that. Like I'm waiting on so-and-so, whatever the rappers are. I'm waiting on so-and-so to put me on. Like once they put me on, then I'm going to start dropping that's what that's what Wallace was saying. Like, don't wait until opportunity presents itself to step into this new version of you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to already be that, right? And if you match that up with other philosophers, if you match that up with even going back to what Neville said about what's his name? I can't think of the brother a long time ago, but the man that said, hey, people think that in order to get rich, you get rich and then all of a sudden you'll feel this energy. He said, no, brother, you have to feel this energy first and the riches come find you. That's all Wallace was saying. Don't wait for somebody to put you on to be in this new energy, brothers. And I'm telling you, a lot of us do that. A lot of us do that, man. Like we're going to school to be nurses and to be, all these things. Brothers, we have to already be walking in this energy. We're going to the gym to get fit, man. We have to already be walking in that energy. We have to already be conducting ourselves. A lot of you guys talking about, I want to start, a YouTube channel. You want to wait till some other YouTuber bring, try to put you on and do some collaboration. Now, brother, you need to be putting that work in. I don't care if you got 1 subscriber, 2 subscribers. You need to be putting that work in as if you're already on. As if you're already on, brother. I'm telling you, man. Wattles broke it down, man. The advancing man. I'm telling you, brother, it's a formula. First, hold the vision. Second, be larger than your current situation. And third, it says, don't wait for the opportunity to come, just be. The formula for the advancing man.